Well, what's up guys, it's Chip. I'm here today with a special video for you guys. I'm going to be doing my first unboxing. Really excited to show you guys what I have today. Now, before I get started, if you haven't seen my first short video, make sure you go watch it out so that way you can learn a little bit about what we're doing here. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get right to it. Here it is. It is a Platinum GameCube. I'm super excited about this. So let's go ahead and unbox it. Let's get right to it. Okay, so to start us off, I got a Platinum controller here. It is wired. It's not the coveted Wavebird controller that everyone so loves. Okay, moving on, we've got the standard Nintendo GameCube power supply. Nothing special here. And of course, we have our AV component cables here. Again, nothing special. One end goes into your GameCube, and the other three plugs here go into your TV. It also came with a black Nintendo GameCube memory card. This one is the DOL014, made in Japan. So if you are a GameCube memory card aficionado, that's what this one is here. Memory card 251, so I believe that means it has 251 blocks of storage, so it should be plenty to get us started. Growing up, I had a Nika one, I believe it was, with a little like red cube logo, so I'd love to find one of those. But for now, this will absolutely get us started off. As you saw, I made sure to get one with the box and everything. I wanted to make sure that was included. And part of that is it came with the instruction booklet. So this is the one that came with the cube. Obviously, haven't really read through it, but it's really cool that it was included. And you can kind of see all about it. Things like what the serial ports mean and what you can connect to it and things like that. So really cool to see this. I never looked through it as a kid, but it's pretty standard stuff. Now, probably the main part of this here is the actual GameCube itself. So this is the Platinum GameCube. Now, it's in pretty decent condition, I would say. It's definitely got some scuffs here and there. It is a 23-year-old console, after all. So there's bound to be some marks. But overall, not too bad here. There are two different types of GameCubes. There is the DOL001 and there's the DOL101. Now what I have here is the 001, and I'm going to talk about the differences here in just a minute. For most people, probably not a huge deal between the two, but the DOL001 was the original one, and then they made a revision later on. So I bought this all off of eBay, and I'm going to put a screenshot there of the actual listing and show you what I paid, be transparent about that. That being said, if you are looking for a GameCube, specifically on eBay, make sure that you're looking specific towards your region. So, for example, what I saw was a lot of Japanese GameCubes. Now, what they'll do, I imagine, is have the Japanese GameCube and then they'll change some of the firmware or whatever and send it to the United States to sell. Now, that's fine if they do it properly and you don't mind that the GameCube's in Japanese and all of that. But keep in mind that GameCubes are region locked. So if you want to play your North American games on a Japanese GameCube that has not been modified, you might run into some troubles there. So make sure that if you are buying a foreign cube that it is not going to be region locked or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. Some ways you can tell if it's a Japanese GameCube. First, obviously, the box will have Japanese writing on it and not English, and as well as some of the labels on the GameCube as well. So one of them here, if you open this lid, you can see here the labels are in English, as well as on the bottom here, this big black label there. you can see is also in English on this one. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to buy a GameCube on eBay. Make sure that it is a North American one. Some key things I was looking for. One, I wanted to make sure that this light gray faceplate here wasn't too yellowed. Over the years, the sun can do some damage to them and they can become discolored. So I wanted to make sure that this one didn't really have any major discoloration. Now, I've heard you can use something called Retro Bright to kind of fix that and reverse the yellowing. I've never used it before. We may in the future if we come across any sun-damaged products. So if yours is a little bit yellowed here on the face, maybe give Retro Bright a try and see what it does. For some of these very minor scratches, I don't know if the camera really picks it up very well, but some of these might be able to be fixed with something like a magic eraser. I've heard people claim that they can fix these scratches with magic erasers. Again, I've never tried that myself, so proceed at your own risk there. Yeah, so overall, not too bad of condition here. Now, what I would love to do in the future, this one is completely unmodified. There's a lot of different GameCube modifications you can do to it. One thing I might be interested in doing sooner rather than later is doing some sort of shell swap. Now, there's tons of different shells out there on places like Etsy and eBay and things like that. There's really cool ones that are like completely clear or atomic purple, really fun colors and things like that that weren't necessarily original to the GameCube. That being said, for me, I would like to just replace it with a very clean platinum shell. So if I can find one, I'd love to do a shell swap. Also, if I could find the paint code that was used for this, I'm not opposed to trying to like respray it or something like that, and that way we could kind of clean it up. So that may be one avenue as well to kind of make this a little bit cleaner, but I think it's not too bad. Okay, so here's the front, as you can see. Not too bad, a couple scuff marks here and there, but overall pretty clean. Here's the exhaust port there, and here is the back. Now, I talked about the differences between the DOL001 and the DOL101 GameCubes. One of the best ways you can tell the difference between the two is here back in where the AV ports are. So here you can tell that mine is color matched to the rest of the GameCube. So with this one being a platinum cube, it is color matched here in this area. A DOL101 will not be color matched. It'll be a kind of like a matte black color. And so that's one indicator that would be a 101 GameCube. So if you're looking on eBay, again, just make sure you double check if they have pictures of this area and make sure that they're claiming that it's the right GameCube. Now, another difference here, other than just the color, is this additional port right here. So this is the digital AV out. This port here is only on the 001. The reason they cut it on the second one, I've heard, is that Nintendo saw not a lot of people were using it, that most people were just using the analog AV out. So they cut it probably for cost-saving measures, I would imagine. But the 001 has this, and the 101 does not. Another way you can tell that this GameCube is a 001 is looking at the bottom. So if you look at the bottom there, this black label, I'm not sure if you can read it, but in big letters up here it says DOL001, and that's another indicator that this is a 001 GameCube. Now on the back we have our serial port 1 right there under this cover. We have a serial 2 port here. And of course we have our high-speed port there as well. Now, I think one of the final differences between these that you can tell is I believe it's one of these serial ports are gone on the 101, I don't know which one it is, so if you're interested in knowing, just do a quick Google search or something like that. I believe it's one of these are gone on the 101. Now, I would love to have like a Game Boy player or like a LAN adapter or something for this. I don't have one yet, and I didn't have one growing up, but I would love to find one and get one. I know that with the Game Boy player itself, the actual plastic component that attaches to the cube, that part isn't too expensive or difficult to find. The expensive part is the actual GameCube disc that goes in the GameCube when you want to play a game. I think those can be a little harder to find and, you know, quite a bit more expensive. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that. Now, fun fact about the Game Boy player is those are actually not region locked. So you could actually buy that plastic component from Japan, and you really shouldn't have any issues at all. All right, here on the top, pretty standard. You can probably see some light scratches. You might even be able to see some here on this black plastic piece. Now, on the 001, this is actually a replaceable component. So if I can find one that's a lot cleaner, I might actually swap this out. I can do a short video on that. So it might be on the hunt for that, but for now it's really not too bad, so I'm going to just leave it be, and that way I can go ahead and start playing and enjoying it. Okay, and here it is on the inside. Not too bad. It's in pretty good condition. Hopefully the laser's good. I've never had to repair a laser, so hopefully we don't have any issues there with that. And fingers crossed. So that's it for the GameCube. And one last goodie that the seller included was a second controller. Now, it is not a platinum controller, unfortunately. It is this orange one. I don't know the actual specific color code of this one. I want to say it's like spice orange. Don't quote me on that. But it's just a very bright orange color. So I have a second controller. That way, if I wanted to have a friend over, we could play games like Mario Party, which is significantly more fun if you're playing with somebody and not just trying to play solo. So that might come in handy here soon. Okay, and I think that's it. This is the box itself. It's actually in pretty good condition. You can actually see some Nintendo GameCube accessories here on the side. That's pretty cool. So you can see, obviously, the memory card. You can see there's that Wavebird wireless controller that's so coveted, and the Nintendo GameCube Game Boy player. And they also have a Game Boy Advance cable there that you can buy, so that way you can connect your Advance as well. My next video for you guys is going to be unboxing some games. I don't have any games to play, so that's the next step now that I have a GameCube secured. So really excited about that, looking forward to it, and make sure you stay tuned for the next video.